The other day I was in, let's see, where was this? San Antonio, Texas. And the person who got up to speak before I did was named C.C. Civ. And born in Cambodia, came here in 1976. Went to work in a restaurant. Then became a taxi driver in New York City. Saved his money and became, was able to go to business school and get an MBA. Became involved with government and politics. And 14 years after he came to this country, he was named United States Ambassador to the United Nations. Isn't that amazing? And he said he would stand and say, on behalf of the people of the United States, and then he'd go on with his remarks to the UN. And he said, I would think to myself, where else in the world would a person from a foreign place like Cambodia be able to stand and represent, stand and say that they represent the greatest nation on earth? What an extraordinary land we live in. I had during my Olympic experience, and you know that for several years I got the chance to go out and help organize the Olympic Winter Games of 2002. And one of the experiences that stands out most vividly in my opportunity to be part of those games was at the closing ceremonies. And the Vice President, Dick Cheney, was coming to the closing ceremonies, and he asked me to choose one American athlete to sit with him at the closing to represent all the American athletes that had participated in the Olympics. And I chose a guy named Derek Parr. Derek's about 5'4", Hispanic American, born in Los Angeles. And Derek was a rollerblader. And his friend said, if you ever want to get an Olympic medal, you better pick up another sport, because they don't have rollerblading in the Olympics. So he strapped on some ice skates and was fast. And he worked and he trained. He competed against, my guess is, some of the big athletes from Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan, and became a member of the United States speed skating team. Came out there and skied his heart out, got a silver medal in the 5,000 meters, and then a gold medal in the 1,500 meters. Fastest man in the world on ice. Absolutely amazing. So I invited him to come sit with the Vice President. And he came into the President's box, and as he was coming in, I said, Derek, what was the most meaningful experience of your Olympics? And it was not the silver medal, and it was not the gold medal. He said it was being honored to carry in the American flag that had flown above the World Trade Center on 9/11 into the opening ceremonies. You may recall those Olympic Games were about 5 months after 9/11. People wondered whether there would be some kind of tragedy there. The flag itself is about 8 feet by 12 feet. It's badly torn and burned, and so you can't put it up a flagpole. And so you have people carry it horizontally. And he was one of 8 athletes chosen by his peers to carry in the flag. He said when they announced it coming into the stadium, they had expected the whole crowd to burst into cheers. But instead, total silence, complete reverence. And he said, so we carried the flag and stopped in front of the choir, and they began performing the national anthem. And he said, Mitt, it was hard to hold on to my emotions while they were singing those words. And I was holding that flag. And then he said the choir did something we hadn't expected. Now I knew this was coming because I got to choose the version of the national anthem they sang. And I chose one from the 1930s by Robert Shaw. And in this version, you repeat the last line as a reprise, an octave higher for the sopranos, in greater orchestration. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And he said this time, as they sang it again, a gust of wind blew in the flag and lifted it in our arms. And he said, for me, it was as if all those that had fought and died for American liberty had just blown in that flag. And he said the tears began to run down my face. We are a very patriotic people. We love our country. We recognize it is unique and exceptional. We face real challenges. But I happen to believe that if we have leaders that are willing to tell the truth and live with integrity, who understand how to lead and understand how the world and the economy works, and are willing to draw on the patriotism and willingness to sacrifice of the American people, that we will rise to the occasion, overcome our challenges, and keep America as it has always been, the hope of the earth. And I intend to be one of those leaders with your vote tomorrow. Thank you so much.
get a video. Where's my baseball cap?
Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming down. Hey, thanks for coming.
My mother thinks he is the
come on,
next Paul Ryan.
Let's go, buddy.
Awesome.